Hey, Think Realty, thanks so much for joining us today on the podcast. My name is Eddie Wilson, the founder of Think Realty. I founded it in 2013 because I wanted to bring you great access and content and people, just like I had in my own life as I was on my real estate investing journey. And so I built Think Realty years ago as a media platform specific for real estate investors. We've got a great guest coming up on the show today, but I want to say a quick thank you to our podcast sponsor before we jump in. This episode is brought to you by Real Property Management. Working with the right property management company can put more money in your pocket, not less. Real Property Management provides a higher standard of property management to make sure you're maximizing the return on your investments. Experience the real difference with Real Property Management. Visit Real Property MGT. That's realpropertymgt.com. Our guest today comes from CNB Custody, and it's Kellie Griffith. Kellie, thanks so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Yeah, very good. So, Kellie, you are in the wild and wonderful and crazy world of investing in self-directed IRAs. And I always say to our listener, the Holy Grail, the Holy Grail is the Roth IRA. Why is the Roth the Holy Grail?
Well, when you take a distribution or a withdrawal, if it's a qualified withdrawal, it'd be tax-free.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything you take out is tax-free.
Which is amazing because your greatest expense in real estate investing is taxation, right? And, if you can grow your wealth compounding in the absence of taxation, you can get to retirement a whole lot faster, right? So do you have any case studies or any stories of people that have had success in investing in their self-directed IRA?
Oh, yeah. So we do have an investor. He's got a couple properties in his IRA. He does have just a piece of ground, piece of land that he does lease out to hunters. They come in from all over just to hunt on his land. And then all the rent, all that hunting lease, all that money goes back into his Roth. And again, tax-free once he takes it out, doesn't have to pay those taxes. He's got another piece of property. It's a rental. All the rent income flows back to his IRA, all tax deferred. So he doesn't have to worry about that. He's really big. He just sold a property. Again, no capital gains on that. He gained $80,000. All that income goes back to his IRA. And that's all tax deferred. It's tax free when he takes it out, so because it's a Roth IRA. So he's doing really great as far as the real estate investing goes. So that's
awesome.
He's doing awesome.
Very cool. Yeah. And I love those stories. I mean, for me, I grew up in a real estate investor's home. I'm actually a third generation real estate investor. So I've known about self-direction and IRAs and contributions and contribution limits and all that stuff for years. And it's just a part of the way of life. But what it does is it provides you such a clear pathway to true retirement. So many people don't have that. Yeah. I've heard that the average person in America has about $83,000 in their retirement account. And that's all the way up to the people that have got millions down to the people that haven't even started contributing yet. And that's not going to get them to retirement. It's going to take $1.5 to $2 million to get them to truly retire, but very few people have a pathway to do so. With all the IRA companies out there, what sets CNB apart from the other guys? Because there's big, giant custodians, trust companies, people that advertise. What sets you guys apart?
Yep. Yeah, we got a lot of competition, but I would say our customer service would be our big part. When you call us, you're always going to get a live person. You're never going to have to go through the greeting and click on, press number 5, or, you don't have to do that. Every time you call in, you're going to get a live person. They will assist you, transfer to wherever you need. And then we also do offer a very competitive fee schedule. We like to keep it lower than the other custodians. I'd say as far as real estate goes, it's really nice because we do offer just a base fee. And that base fee includes the income. We don't charge extra for income processing. We don't charge extra for an expense payment. So you won't, every time something happens in your account, you're not going to see a fee deducted every single time that happens. So mainly our very competitive fee schedule.
That's
And
great.
I would say, yeah, customer service would be number one for us. We have that Midwestern hospitality. So yeah, really great. Love the people that I work with. There's lots of people here that have been around for 10 plus years. I've been here going on 16. So it's super frustrating to call a company and you're just constantly going to each department and you're not getting what you want out of it. You need and which department to get you to.
Yeah, that's so good and so important in the self-directed IRA space because there's a lot of big companies out there, but they don't always provide the greatest amount of service. You know, where we are today in the, we're in an election cycle, things are kind of crazy, things are wild.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for a real estate investor? You know, it's like, I think a lot of them are just kind of sitting on their hands right now, struggling to know what choices do I make? Where do I go? How do I kind of play my future out? They're interested in real estate, but maybe they've started to slow down their activity. Any advice that you have for a real estate investor right now?
I would say just to dive in. Start with your first one. If you are a first time investor, look for somebody else that has done it before. Maybe you can partner with that person. If that other investor has an IRA, maybe you can do a 50-50 partner or something to just start you out, someone to help you start it up. And at least, you know, if you do partner, whatever percentage it may be, you're still getting that income, whether it be 50% going back into your IRA or 70%. I would say just dive in, just start. Each one, you're going to get that experience and it's going to get more and more. You can sell it and then next time kind of do your own project. But at this, just dive in and start it.
Yeah.
You're only going to get better.
Yeah, I love the strategy of, I know a lot of people struggle because you can only contribute so much. And let's take a Roth, for instance, if you're under 50, you know, you can contribute $7,000. And, you know, so they struggle. It's like, well, I can put 7,000 in this year and 7,000 in next year, and it's going to take me a while to get up there. But co-investing, you know, either like you said, with another person that has an IRA, or there are ways to actually co-invest with your own capital. You have money inside of a savings account, you have something in your IRA,
right.
You run that through an LLC with an operating agreement that feeds it back correctly. There are ways to do this. And the most important part, I think you hit earlier, is making sure that as you're investing, there's a tax strategy for the future. So many people are just kicking the can down the road of 1031 exchanges, so on and so forth. But it's if you get that piece of whatever piece you can get in your IRA helps you offset the capital gains tax, which, you know, to certain people, it could be up to 39.6% right now, right? Like 40% of everything you do essentially goes away if you don't have a tax strategy. So you could have a killer real estate deal, right, and you make 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand, and you give 40% of it back to the government because you don't have a tax strategy. Or you set it up correctly and you can feed a lot of that back 100% into your self-directed IRA. And then we take it out after 59 and a half. It's, you know, it's tax-free, which is an amazing vehicle. To me, I think the Roth, the reason I call it the Holy Grail is because of those pieces. It's to me, I think the greatest vehicle in the United States today for building wealth and preparing for retirement. Would you disagree? Do you think there's anything else that's better?
No, I totally agree with you. There was a client that called in the other day. He's got $3.5 million sitting in his Roth. It's like, you know, I guarantee he's been doing real estate for a very long time, you know, to get that amount in his IRA. I mean, he probably started out small contributions, you know, you have a limit. But like I said, you know, you could partner and just continue to build that. But yeah, that's just awesome that he was able to do that. Tax deferred, you know, that's awesome.
It is awesome. And
just to an IRA investment.
For sure. And the average person in America probably needs somewhere between $2 and $3 million to retire. And so someone like him, he gets to do it without paying tax on it. And, you know, and I, you know, it's not bad to have a non-Roth IRA. It's like where you have to pay tax on what's coming out. But in the end, it's like, if you can do it in a Roth, to me, it's the holy grail. So I push real estate investors. I think every real estate investor, I actually think every human on the planet should have one if you live in the United States, because it's an amazing vehicle. I think you're crazy not to.
Yes.
But anyways, well, I appreciate you. How can they get in touch with your organization? How do they reach out? How can they get information on what you do?
Well, they could definitely call us or email us, realestate@cnbcustody.com. Our phone number, 800-680-0340. My specific extension is 6933. So if they have a situation or scenario that they want to talk about, please reach out and we can go over that. I will assure them that prohibited transactions are not scary. Just as long as you use it for investment purposes only, you should be all right.
Yeah. I always say the rule of thumb is just to keep your investments passive by nature. Obviously, understand the arm's length transactions, understand who you can do deals with. And it's a pretty simple process. And obviously, you can be there along the way to help them and guide them.
For sure. Oh, yeah. Every step of the way.
Very
we'll be there.
Well, I highly recommend you guys that are listening and viewing today to go check out CNB Custody. Hit Kellie's extension directly. She wants to hear from every single one of you. She said she wants thousands of phone calls. That's what I heard. But I appreciate you being on the show today.
For my voicemail, just keep leaving messages. I'll call you back.
Perfect. Well, thanks so much for being a part of the show today. I really appreciate you. One last thank you to our podcast sponsor, which is Real Property Management. This episode is brought to you by Real Property Management. Working with the right property management company can put more money in your pocket, not less. Real Property Management provides a higher standard of property management to make sure you're maximizing the return on your investments. Experience the real difference with Real Property Management. Visit Real Property MGT. That's realpropertymgt.com. And one last thing, if you haven't already joined our Think Realty Plus program, our Think Realty Plus program was built for real estate investors by a real estate investor. For me, I always wanted to provide not just information, but information on the economy, access to great people, and resident experts that are doing specific investing on things that you're interested in. The Think Realty Plus program puts our magazine on your doorstep every single month. It also gives you access to all of our conferences, and it also gives you access to our resident experts that come on every single month to help you, whether it's multifamily, single family, self-storage, IRA investing, you name it, but private lenders. We've got resident experts that come on and help guide you along the way and answer your questions live. That's what Think Realty Plus is all about. And if you go to thinkrealty.com and you use the code LAUNCH, you'll get that for $14.99 a month. To me, I think it's the best deal in all of real estate investing because we'll be there. We'll be your companion. You can join other masterminds. You can be part of other real estate groups. But in the end, we kind of are that baseline of truth and information that you can always count on. We built it for you, and we'd love for you to take advantage of that. Go to thinkrealty.com. Again, use the word LAUNCH. The code LAUNCH, and get it for $14.99 a month. We'll talk to you soon. As always, give us great feedback on whatever it is that you like, dislike, more information that you want, and we will make sure to get the guest on the show that will help you on your real estate investing journey. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Think Realty.